Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Masyita Abubakar and I'm going to do a book review about this book. So this book is Rewriting Islam, Decolonialism, Justice and Contemporary Muslimah Literature. This book is written by Hasnul Insani Djohar, published date August 2024 and being published by the Ohio University Press. First, we're going to review the cover. So as you can see, the book cover is being colored brown beige color. So it's like want to show this book is very neat, clean, pure. Like this book is very neat, very solid. And as you can see, there's an illustrate of woman here. So I think this cover wants to emphasize that this book is talk about women, Muslim women, especially with himar on it. As you can see, this book is pretty and the back cover is also neat. What is this book talking about? First, we're going to see the table of content of this book. As you can see, this book is basically a collection of literary written by Muslimah all around the world. So here, first there's an introduction about spirituality, collectivity, and solidarity or sisterhood. Because this book is talk about a collection, the analyze of the collection of Muslim literature. So there's a lot of Muslim author in this book. So first, I'm going to talk about my top 3 favorite quotes from this book. First is chapter 4, Decolonizing Collective Trauma, from the book Shaila Abdullah Saffron Dreams 2009. So Ms. Hasnul says that I used the term after the US invasion of Iraq instead of after 9/11, following Neil Razor's 2006 article Post-Colonial Studies After the Invasion of Iraq. Lazarus suggests that the term post-9/11 positioned America as a victim and the invasion of Iraq, therefore as a measured and appropriate course of action. To use the term after the invasion of Iraq challenges the rightness of America's incursion in the Middle East after the attacks of New York and Washington on September 11, 2001, page 79. So in this page, Ms. Hasnul basically argued that she preferred the term after the invasion of Iraq instead of post 9/11 because it challenged the rightness of America. Because as you can see, America always picture them as a hero, as a superior country that help other country. In fact, it's all wrong. It's just another excuse to America to play victim, to make a Middle East country as a perpetrator instead of the victim, because the real victim is Middle East country, not America. Post 9/11 is just an excuse America to do discrimination and stereotyping against Muslim people around the world. So I really agree with this statement. I think every now and then we should use the term after the invasion of Iraq instead of 9/11, not only on literature, not only on literary background, but we should use that term every time we speak about every time we speak about what happened in 9/11, we should change the term into after the invasion of Iraq because it is more suitable. It is for us, for me as a Muslim woman, for everyone around the world that has been discriminated, feels racist towards Muslim. We should challenge America. We should reject that stereotype against us. So we should, for now on, we should use the term after the invasion of Iraq when we talk about this event, this whole experience that Muslimah and Muslim people around the world experiencing after 9/11, we should change it. We should erase the term post 9/11. We should use the term after the invasion of Iraq, because the real villain in this world is America. So now we move to the quotes number 2, or my second favorite lines or argument from this book. This is from chapter 6, Decolonizing Immigrant Bodies and Collective Motherlands, and mainly focused on the book by Laila Lalami, Hope and Other Dangerous Pursuits, 2005. So in this line, basically, Ma'am Hasnul says, indeed, Jabian rejects the dichotomy of human nature and mind-body, which defines woman and nature as inferior to man. But importantly, we should not resist the connection of woman's body with lands, as it is important for post-colonial women to reject colonial practice that have oppressed both their bodies and their limbs. Page 107. Basically, this line says about how women always compared to nature, that sees as a weak creature compared to men. Like, what? So colonial system used to make both seem weak, but instead of rejecting this connection, post-colonial women can own it and use to fight back against people who oppress them and their land. It's about turning something that's been used to oppress into something powerful. So, I really like the way this book or Miss Hasnul sees the connection between women and land, because we women always being seen as a mother, which is being connected to motherland, mother nature. But in fact, there's a lot of Muslimah women around the world that has been not only being oppressed in their land, but also being oppressed in another land, and also being oppressed by men. So this connection about woman and nature are really interesting to be talked about, because why people call us mother nature, we be always being compared or connect or relate to mother nature, but we always seen as a weak creature. How? It's not make sense, because mother nature is very powerful. We need to do something to reject this idea, to challenge, to fight back against this idea of men seeing us as a weak creature. So I really like the concept, the idea of this basically this chapter is talk about post-colonialism, ecofeminism. It's about the relation of woman and land and nature. I think this concept, these studies, this theory is very interesting to talk about. And this book is really it's like wrecking. It's like this book is really talk in detail about this theory to us Muslim women. And you should also read the book by Laila Lalami, Hope and Other Dangerous Pursuits, because it's very good book that talks about women and their connection to land. Lastly, my third favorite quotes from this book are still on the same chapter, which is chapter 6. And this chapter, Ms. Hasnul also says, arguably, Lalami texts reject Anglo-American feminists who tend to challenge the connection of women's bodies and land, since it gave more power to men to oppress women, as women are associated with nature and vulnerability. Instead of resisting the connection of woman's body and lands, we should reject the ideologies of patriarchal system, which tend to define women as weak and men are strong. Still the same concept as previous, but what I really want to emphasize, what I really want to highlight is that another another academic says that some Western feminists says women shouldn't be tied to nature because it makes them look vulnerable. But no, actually it doesn't, because the problem is not about the connection about woman and nature. The problem is the sexist system that makes woman and nature look weak. It's because the system, who set the system up? It's men that being called as a weak. And rather than like do not agree that do not compare woman to nature, rather than saying that nature and woman can be connect or relate, we need to focus on smashing those systems, instead throwing away cultural connection, because we can't deny the connection between woman and lands, woman and nature. Why it matters? It shows that feminism needs to work differently in different culture and can just copy paste ideas from the West, instead of says that women and nature can be related. We should say that we need to fight against the system that says women are weaker than men. And I think this is really good idea, because if other feminists thinks that we cannot connect woman and nature, why you agree with that? We as a woman knows that we really has a deep connection with lands, with nature. Why would we broke the connection? What we should do is broke the stereotyping, the idea of the sexist systems that says women are weaker, are more vulnerable than men. So basically that's all my 3 favorite lines or argument from the book, and we're going to talk about pros and cons in this book. So I don't think there's a lot of cons from this book. Only I really suggest that this book is using high vocabulary. So if you're not really native speaker of English, or if you're not really on academic level that have high vocabulary, it's hard for you to understand what it is saying in this book, because this book is using very, very high vocabulary. So you need to understand more by rereading it and search some vocabulary on, or maybe not just vocabulary but also term that is used in this book is very, very, you cannot hear that kind of term every day. You need to searching up what is it about, and then I really recommend this book, because this book is really talks deeply, like woman to woman, really explained in detail about the life of the women who are oppressed, and how should we do, how me as a Muslim woman too needs to do if I someday being in the position of oppressed, being in the position of marginalized in Western country. This book can be your source of information, very educational, because there's a lot of, actually when I read this book, there's a lot of under what is it, it's like when I read this book, I really doesn't know anything about the theory. For post-colonialism, I already heard about that, but another studies like memory studies, surveillance studies, and then also post-colonialism and ecofeminism, like I never heard of it. And you should read this book because it's very inspiring and educational. So that's all from me. Thank you for watching, and sorry if I ever mispronounce something. Don't forget to like and leave a comment, and see you next time. Bye.